Welcome back, book lovers. Today we have a fascinating summary of the bestseller Nudge, Improving Decisions About Health, Wealth, and Happiness, written by Sunstein and Richard H. Thaler. This revolutionary book introduces the concept of nudging as a way to improve decision-making in our daily lives. So, let's dive into the summary of this incredible book. But before we dive into the content, I kindly request a moment of your time to appreciate this video by liking it, subscribing to the channel, and ringing that notification bell. Your support means a lot to me. Thank you so much. In Nudge, Sunstein and Thaler explore the idea of libertarian paternalism, a concept that suggests that it is possible for institutions and policymakers to encourage positive decisions without restricting individuals' freedom of choice. Nudge shows you how you can unconsciously make better decisions by designing your environment so it nudges you in the right direction every time temptation becomes greatest, and thus build your own choice architecture in advance. Nudge by Richard H. Thaler is a book that explores how we make decisions and how small nudges can help us make better choices without removing our freedom of choice. The message of Nudge is to show us how we can be encouraged, with just a slight nudge or two, to make better decisions. The book starts by explaining the reasons for wrong decisions we make in everyday life. Nudge was co-authored by two professors. One is Sunstein, who taught law for 27 years and worked in the Office of Information and Regulatory Affairs under Barack Obama from 2009 to 2012. His partner in nudging, Richard Thaler, is a professor of behavioral economics at the University of Chicago, where Sunstein also taught. Thaler has worked with Nobel Prize laureate Daniel Kahneman, and both have pushed the envelope of the science of decision-making quite a bit. He was even featured as himself in the Hollywood blockbuster The Big Short. What makes this choice book different is its focus on environment design, rather than improving your inner strength, willpower, etc. to make better decisions. Nudge explores the concept of the nudge and how small changes can have a big impact on our behavior and decision-making. Here's why this book is worth reading. With its foundational ideas and clear explanations, it empowers readers to understand the power of nudges and how they can be used to improve our lives and society. Backed by research and real-world examples, the book provides practical insights into how we can design environments and systems that nudge people towards making better choices. By combining economics, psychology, and behavioral science, the book offers a comprehensive and interdisciplinary perspective on human behavior, making it intellectually stimulating and thought-provoking. Here are my 3 favorite lessons. A nudge is a subtle cue or context change that pushes you to make a certain decision without forcing you to. One of the most powerful nudges is the default. When states use nudges well, they can improve entire countries. Need a nudge in the right direction? This ought to do it. Lesson 1. Nudges are tiny hints or changes, which push you in one direction, but leave all options open. Have you ever been talked into going out by a friend, at first not wanting to go? But after she teased you a bit and you dressed up, you ended up having a really good time? That's a nudge in action. Used right, a nudge is a very small action or change in environment, which makes it easier for you to make the decision that's best for you, without forcing you to decide a certain way. For example, if the cafeteria put the fruits next to the registrar, and not the candy bars, you'd eat more bananas, simply because they're easier to pick up. When the cashier at McDonald's asks you, "Do you want fries with that?" That's also a nudge, but one in the wrong direction. The little flag some mailboxes have that turns up when mail is inside the box? Another nudge. We're being nudged all day, sometimes towards good decisions, sometimes towards bad ones. The cool thing is, you can design your environment in ways that more good nudges will happen, for example by installing blocking software to restrict access to distracting websites. Lesson 2. A default is a very powerful nudge, as it requires you to actively object it for it not to work. Sometimes it's possible to design situations where decisions need to be made in a way that if you decide automatically, you naturally make the right choice. For example, if you send an email through Gmail and type something like, "Please find attached," or "I'll attach the file," in the email's body, and you then forget to upload the actual attachment, Gmail automatically prompts you with the question, "Did you want to send an attachment with this?" It's a very situation-specific nudge, but it can save tons of time and frustration in the long run. This particular type of nudge is called a default. Default nudges are set up in a way that if you do nothing, you'll still do the right thing by sticking to the preset standard. At scale, companies can use this by automatically enrolling their employees in their matching retirement plan programs, unless they explicitly object to participating. This helps a lot of lazy people save for retirement because they would never have enrolled if they'd had to actively do it themselves. Similarly, gyms and magazines abuse this by automatically renewing your subscription, unless you cancel it. Again, nudges can be used both ways. Lesson 3. States and other large institutions can use nudges to improve societies and countries as a whole. Here's a really basic way of describing how states work. If the majority of its members make good decisions, the welfare of the state grows. If the majority makes bad decisions, it declines. For example, 75% of Americans make bad food choices and are therefore either obese or overweight. Imagine all of these people would eat healthier. Obesity would go away, and thus the expensive health problems that come with it. The country would save billions of dollars in treatments, surgery costs, health insurance expenses, etc. It'd be a win-win. Same with smoking. Sure, a nudge at scale costs a bit to set up, but its effects usually kick in fast. For example, since it's become mandatory to report carbon emissions, the emissions themselves have gone down significantly, just because companies have to be transparent. No law says they have to emit less carbon dioxide, yet because critics can point fingers, businesses naturally compete to be eco-friendlier. Another cool stateside nudge is the $1-a-day program, which gives teenage mothers $1 each day they don't get pregnant again. $365 may sound like a lot, but is much cheaper than having to take care of a newborn or trying to relocate it to a good family. If they use nudges right, governments and large institutions can spur wise decisions at scale and thus make life better for everyone. That's a cool way of reframing the whole decision-making process. As I said in the introduction, nudge really is different, just topically related to all the other decision-making books, which is precisely what makes it so powerful. Thumbs up. Those are the individuals who truly deserve to immerse themselves in this extraordinary book. Anyone who wants to live a healthier, more disciplined life. Anyone interested in how countries and companies can influence people's decisions. The 15-year-old who's already slightly overweight. The 39-year-old who just checked whether he's enrolled in his company's retirement saving program. And anyone who works in a place that could help implement nudges at scale. By understanding how people make decisions and the factors that influence their choices, Sunstein and Thaler propose simple nudges to guide individuals towards better outcomes. These nudges can help people make healthier choices, save more money, and increase overall happiness. One key takeaway from the book is the concept of choice architecture, which refers to how choices are presented to individuals. By strategically designing the way choices are framed and presented, policymakers and institutions can influence decision-making without removing freedom of choice. Nudge also dives into the various biases and heuristics that impact our decision-making processes. By understanding these cognitive shortcuts, individuals can learn to recognize when they are being influenced and make more informed choices. Whether you're looking to improve your personal decisions or interested in how policymakers can create positive change, Nudge offers valuable insights into the world of behavioral economics and decision science. If you're eager to discover practical strategies for making better decisions and understanding the forces that shape our choices, Nudge is a must-read. So, grab your copy today and start nudging yourself towards a brighter future. Nudge. Improving decisions about health, wealth, and happiness. Sunstein and Thaler also explore the concept of behavioral insights teams, which are groups dedicated to applying behavioral science to public policy. These teams use nudges to encourage positive behaviors and improve outcomes for society as a whole. One of the key examples highlighted in the book is the implementation of automatic enrollment in retirement plans. By making enrollment the default option, employers saw a significant increase in employee participation and savings rates, showcasing the power of nudges in shaping decisions. Additionally, Nudge discusses the importance of transparency, feedback, and accountability in nudging. By providing clear information, timely feedback, and holding individuals accountable for their choices, nudges can be more effective in guiding behavior towards better outcomes. Throughout the book, Sunstein and Thaler emphasize the idea that small changes in how choices are presented can have a significant impact on behavior. By recognizing the power of nudges and understanding the principles behind them, individuals can make more informed decisions in every aspect of their lives. Here are some valuable insights extracted from this captivating book. I believe you will find them highly beneficial. Feel encouraged to explore its wisdom further and let it spark new perspectives and ideas on your journey. 1. We don't always make decisions that are best for us in the long run. Most people have a pretty clear idea of what's good for them and what's not. They are determined to eat healthily, save money for retirement, and not smoke. But when it comes to actually seeing these things through in everyday life, they often do the opposite. They eat unhealthily, they're reckless with money, and they smoke too much. Unwise behaviors crop up in all parts of our lives, from eating habits to investment decisions to the way we structure our daily schedule. We grab a chocolate bar even though we know that an apple would be better for us. We hit snooze every time our alarm rings despite knowing this means we'll only have to rush later. Such behavioral patterns cause problems when quick decisions result in serious long-term consequences. For example, statistics show that when it comes to saving money, most U.S. citizens save very little even though they know this can cause them trouble later. If we suddenly lose our income due to illness or unemployment or have unexpected expenses like getting our car fixed, and have no savings to fall back on, we become angry about the irrational decisions we made in the past. And yet, despite knowing this, we continue to make financial decisions based on short-term rather than long-term goals. We don't always make decisions that are best for us in the long run. 2. We often make bad decisions based on either too little or overly complex information. Why do we so often make decisions that aren't really the best choices for us? In many cases, we simply have too little or too much information, or we can't foresee the consequences of our actions. It's only when we have and can process the right amount of information that we are in a place to make rational decisions. For example, when we have to choose an ice cream flavor at an ice cream shop, we usually make that decision rather quickly. We see which flavors there are, and we know from experience that strawberry ice cream tastes better than mango, i.e., we have all the necessary information and can process it rapidly. 3. Human beings act mainly on gut feelings. When we see a laughing baby, we can't help but smile. That decision to smile is made unconsciously. Our response occurs entirely on its own. But when we want to figure out the answer to 347 by 12, we confront this task in a conscious way, because finding the answer requires an effort and takes some time. Sometimes we make faulty decisions because we succumb to temptation or act without thinking. If you offer a longtime smoker a cigarette while she's in the process of quitting, it'll be difficult for her to resist the temptation. Although she'd like to quit and knows how bad it is for her, she'll probably end up bumming a smoke. The reason for this unwise response is a lack of will. Despite her intentions, the temptation is simply too great. A certain degree of thoughtlessness also takes hold of us in such situations. 5. Some companies exploit the human tendency to make the wrong decisions. If companies want to be successful, they have to sell products and earn profits. And to do that, they have to fulfill their customers' needs. Whether that has positive or negative consequences on customers doesn't matter to some companies. Their main concern is whether customers are buying. 6. Nudges are subtle changes in context that help us avoid making bad decisions. How can we keep ourselves from making the wrong decisions? With nudges or little pushes in the right direction. Nudges are not no-nos or clever advertising messages. Rather, they are subtle actions that make it easier for us to act in the way that is best for us without dictating a specific behavior. Simply put, nudges leave us free rein while making it easier for us to choose the right thing. 7. Defaults are highly effective nudges that cause people to automatically do what's best for them. Considering that we don't rack our brains every time we make a decision, decision-making situations should be designed so that automatic responses produce a positive outcome. The email service Gmail does just that with its attachment reminder. If words like, "Please find attached" are written in email text but no file has been attached, the email program automatically recognizes it and asks the user, "Did you want to send an attachment?" This little nudge can save people a lot of time and trouble. Nudges are most useful when we have too many choices or when the future is at stake. The most opportune time to use nudges is in situations where it's particularly difficult for us to make the right decisions. Making the wrong decision is easy when we have an immediate payoff and don't feel the negative consequences until later. We take that second piece of cake and drink that cocktail after work because they give us pleasure in the moment and we only feel the negative effects later, when we step on a scale at the end of the month, or wake up the next morning with a headache. 9. Many people use nudges to achieve their goals. At the end of each year, many of us come to the conclusion that, yet again, we didn't manage to stick to our New Year's resolutions. The number on the scale is higher than last year and the ashtray is still full. And yet some people are successful. How did they do it? Generally, the people who are able to stick to their resolutions do so by using nudges to keep them from making the wrong decisions throughout the year. They place bets with their friends, take advantage of public weigh-ins, or use internet programs tailored to help them monitor their progress and stay on target. 10. States and other institutions should use nudges to encourage wise decisions. Nudges encourage individuals to make better decisions, and this often benefits more than just the individual alone. An entire society benefits when the majority of its members make wise decisions. If fewer people smoke or are overweight, healthcare costs decrease, and everybody wins. Even though a nudge may cost us something at first, the longer-term benefits are generally not long in coming. So, if you're ready to embark on a journey towards improved decision-making, greater well-being, and increased success, be sure to add Nudge to your reading list. This groundbreaking book will challenge your perspective on choice, freedom, and the forces that shape our decisions. You can find the link to acquire a copy of this incredible book in the description below. Thank you for tuning in to today's deep dive into Nudge by Sunstein and Richard Thaler. I hope you guys enjoyed that video. If you found this book summary helpful, be sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more book summaries and insightful content. And share this uplifting summary with someone who may benefit from hearing them. Leave a comment down below if you've read this book or have any other recommendations for us. Remember to embrace the power of nudges in your own life and explore the endless possibilities for positive change. Stay curious, stay informed, and keep nudging towards a brighter future. Until next time, happy reading.